Bonsoir, my dudes. How the hell are you? I hope whatever it is you've been up to this week has been absolutely cozy.
I'm just a big toasty cinnamon bun.
Welcome back to another Soul Singer Discovers. Today on Soul Singer Discovers, we're going to be discovering Kim Dracula. But before we do, it's Metalhead Musings. Today's Metalhead Musings comes from an absolutely fabulous name. Sir Robocop Jr. What a name! What a name! Sir Robocop Jr. says, "You're not supposed to enjoy them, you're supposed to experience them. Also, FYI, they did a song with Kenny G." Sir Robocop Jr. is actually talking about the video I did last time, which was Imperial Triumphant. Yeah, I don't think it's news now that I did not enjoy Imperial Triumphant, and I was really worried about putting that video up. Not just because I understand that a lot of people watch reaction stuff because they want to see other people enjoying their thing for the first time, but because I understand that Imperial Triumphant are most likely incredibly skilled musicians who are trying to bring a real message to the world, and I shit all over that. But you know what, I'm not sorry, because several people who are fans of the band came into the comment section and said, "I am a fan, but this is a hard listen. I am a fan, but this made me want to set fire to my own head." So I don't feel bad about it anymore. Today on Soul Singer Discovers, we're going to be discovering Kim Dracula. I can't tell you how excited I am about this. I've seen a picture of Kim Dracula, and I realised that he is a very flamboyant performer. Also, anyone that's got the name Dracula, I'm in. I'm instantly in. One of two things is going to happen today. I'm either going to love Kim Dracula, like it's going to be a revelation, or I'm going to be annoyed that not enough references to Dracula and vampires have been made. But before we get into it, let's head over to Rosie the Robot and find out some things that I didn't know about Kim Dracula.
Kim Dracula is an Australian alternative indie music artist from Hobart, Tasmania. Dracula is known both for original work and for metal covers of songs not typically associated with the genre. They became popular on YouTube for their authorial song, Make Me Famous.
Merci, Rosie. Okay, the song that we were going to be doing was Paparazzi, which I decided not to do because I listened to the first minute of it, recording it, and then I aborted. I was like, no, I am not sitting here and listening to Lady Gaga covers. I'm not doing it. And not because I don't like Lady Gaga, but I do dislike that song with a deep, fiery passion. Why? Because it's been covered 1,000,000 times, and unfortunately, in my local area of musicians, lots of people have covered it, and I can't hear it again. And I won't be able to be balanced, and that's not fair to Kim Dracula. It's also not fair to you guys. And there's nothing wrong with covers. Covers are fine. As I said on my Patreon, covers are fine. On my Patreon. If you would like to see me having a nervous breakdown for a minute of Paparazzi Kim Dracula, you will have to be on my Patreon, unfortunately. Because I started recording it and I was like, no, I'm not doing this. But I've already started recording. What the fuck am I going to do now? I'll put it on Patreon. Because that's what people pay for on Patreon. They pay for seeing me having a nervous breakdown. The song that we're going to be actually doing today is Make Me Famous by Kim Dracula. Let us not waste another moment, shall we? This is Kim Dracula with Make Me Famous. Fucking hell. Boop! The following is art, and as such, it's not an endorsement of violence, but rather a reflection of the world we live in. Fair enough. The video was made prior to the recent tragedies in the US, and as a result, the following has been altered and a scene has been removed. Oh, controversy. Damn.
10, 9, 8, 7, Paris when it's at the finish line. Johnny shut the fucking weapon when they ready to lay on 50. This is Johnny, this is Johnny, only Johnny says better than that. What's the story? I'm the one that wants to eat his cat and just sneaks up and dad. And of course, we'll always give it to him.
It's enough to make you think. It's enough to make you think.
It's enough to make you. It's enough to make you.
Damn.
Listen closely to the words of this song. I'm betting a lot of people never had the place they belong. Give them a platform for doing something evil. Better not look at me wrong, cause I'ma mess you up alright. Celebration just for murdering people. Baby, doesn't it feel so familiar?
Pausing. What? Okay. I think I've still got a bad taste in my mouth from fucking paparazzi. Okay. It's a lot. It's a lot to take in one go. I'm going to start with the first thing. I don't consider myself a prudish person. I really don't. In fact, I have a mouth like a fucking gutter snipe, and I regularly refer to myself as a whore. I have a chewy feeling around guns. Maybe it's because I'm Scottish and guns are not a big part of my culture. They just aren't. And there's only ever been one major mass shooting in Scotland. And as a direct result of it, gun control in Scotland became so strict that unless you are a farmer with licenses up the wazoo, you don't get a gun. So when I see guns portrayed in media, I don't know, in music videos, I should be clear. When I see guns portrayed in music videos, I find it kind of gross. I think that's what Kim Dracula's trying to tell us though. Okay, so I'm going to read the lyrics because I want to believe that Kim is trying to make a statement about gun violence. But we'll see. Listen closely to the words of this song. I'm betting a lot of people never had the place they belong. Give them a platform for doing something evil. You better not look at me wrong because I'ma mess you up for real. Celebrity status for murdering people. Baby, doesn't it feel so familiar? I love the message. And sometimes the message, I will love a song purely because of the message. I will love an artist purely because of the message. I've looked up a couple of different articles about it, and it seems that the general gist is what I thought it was, which is Kim Dracula's trying to make a statement about how celebrities and certain people in positions of power get a massive platform. If they're murderers, it's just seen as a way of making them more so famous. And I fuck with this message, absolutely. I recently went on a bit of a rant about how I was done with the glamorisation of serial killers as sexy, mysterious characters, and the way that they are advertised towards women makes me want to fucking puke. Example, Jeffrey Dahmer never was, never will be, a sexy character that I want advertised to me as some kind of fun experience. No, he was a sick predator who murdered a bunch of people grossly and deserves to have his scrotum nailed down and burn in hell for all eternity. There is no hell, but you know what I mean? I don't enjoy the glamorisation of people who are fucking sick. There's so much to unpack here, and I don't even know if I've got enough time in one video. I'm 2 minutes in, guys. I'm 2 minutes in. Musically, throwing in brass, cliched brass, out of nowhere. Whew. I think the way it's been edited, along with the musical expression, is so much to take in. It's so much to take in. You know what? Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Boop.
Evening, Dracula.
I can see you've been busy.
You wanted to make an entrance.
That's kind of fierce.
less idiots deserve. Soon I'll be praised for causing havoc. That's why I signed up to protect and deserve. That's your captain speaking. I order you to give them all a nice bullet to the head. Yes sir, whatever you say, I'll make the walls about that fucking run.
That's cool. The okay. I have many chewy feelings about it. I think baseline. Do I think that Kim has a great voice? Yes. There's a touch of the Danny Filth about it, you know, Cradle of Filth. There's a touch of that very high masky sounding distorted stuff that reminds me of Danny Filth, and I really enjoyed Cradle of Filth when I watched it. So yeah, so that baseline side of it, yes. Do I think that Kim Dracula in a wedding gown with this makeup looks fierce? Absolutely I do. As far as like the actual overall song, yeah, I think I have a lot of true feelings about it. I think it's art. And I do think it's important art, and I think that whether you hate it or you love it, that stuff like this is really important. I think with metal in general as a genre is so good at discussing incredibly chewy topics that matter, whether they be political or social, whatever. Metal is top tier of the pyramid for being able to talk about all that stuff, and a lot of different bands talk about it. Like every genre can claim at least a subsection of political or social commentary, whereas I feel with metal that's such a big bulk of it, which is cool. And the message in this particular video I think is something that, I mean, I can't comment. I'm not American, and I realise that gun crime and gun culture is a hot topic. It's a hot topic in America. A lot of people talk about things that happen, the shootings, yada yada yada. What I will say is, the thing that worries me about Kim Dracula, I'm old enough to remember, despite the fact that I never listened to male music, I had friends that did, and I remember Marilyn Manson and his career and the increasing of his fame, and how some of it was tied into people doing terrible things with guns and some with not guns, and blaming the music, blaming the art for why they did a thing. Here's the thing. Art is not out here making you be a cunt. It's not. You either are or you aren't. You were going to do that anyway, you were just looking for an excuse. So I don't agree with the idea that metal music makes people violent or metal music makes people do bad things. That's garbage. That's not real. Do I think that you can create an artistic message on the disgusting behaviour of platforming murderers and making them famous with the glamorisation of guns? Can you dismantle the master's house with his tools? I don't know. I don't have the answers. All I will say is, I think whether you like it or not, art is its very foundation should cause a reaction, should create discussion. Even if that discussion is, do I like a Wednesday? Still a discussion. And this is definitely, Madame Kim Dracula has definitely created some kind of discussion. I don't know if I can't tell. The thing is, when the chorus was happening, I like the sound of his voice when it was doing that crazy distorted stuff. It's a big mixed bag for me on this one. There's stuff that in there that I really enjoyed. There's stuff that I feel really chewy about. But that's good, because it made me feel something, and that's important. If your music/media made me feel nothing, that's a bad sign. What do you guys think? If you're a fan of Kim Dracula, what do you feel about this video? Have I missed the point? If I have missed the point, what's the point? Is this regular? Is there always some kind of very dramatic message with all of Kim Dracula's music? If you're not a fan, why are you not a fan? Tell me that. Riddle me that. As always, thank you to my patrons. And of course, thank you to you out there for continuing to like, subscribe, and do all that good stuff. Don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, my dudes. Jesus Christ.